Hey team, hope you're all doing well. So today's topic, I wanted to go over how to run a faster mile. Okay, and I've made a lot of videos on this channel regarding running the mile faster. And one of the most important things that I definitely recommend for younger athletes, even older athletes that are trying to run a faster mile, is the importance of really paying attention to not going out too fast, not going into oxygen debt too early in the race. Because if you go out, you get too hyped up in the first lap of the race, it's going to cause you to slow down in the second half of the race. And especially, and really most athletes get the weakest in the third lap of the race. And that is the portion of the race where you really want to start attacking. You want to be able to really, if you've gone out a little bit more conservative in the first lap of the race, you can really pour it on when in that third lap. And that is really the portion of the race, the mile race, that you really have to focus on in order to run a really fast mile time. Okay, I understand all of us have different goals. Maybe your goal is to break an 8-minute mile. Maybe it's to break a 6-minute mile, or maybe even break a 4-minute mile. My goal in high school was to break a 4-minute mile. Even when I was in college, I tried to get under that barrier. The closest I could get was 4:22. But just know the faster you can get at the mile distance, the 800 meter, the 5,000, the better you're going to be, the better prepared you're going to be for racing in the longer races like the 10K, the 5 mile, the 10 mile distance, half marathon, and marathon distance. The mile distance, because it's such a highly anaerobic event, you really have to focus on your leg development, your leg speed development. Okay, so a proper buildup is a minimum of 12 weeks, preferably 16 to 20 weeks in length if you really want to get it right. Of course, you can still, if you're in high school or if you're in college, especially in these situations, because I understand it as well, you're running so many different races and you don't always have a say in telling your coach, hey, I really don't want to run a race every single weekend. I really don't want to run a 800, a 4x8, a 1600, and a 3200 in my race. So if you're later on in life, maybe you're outside of college and you're really focusing on a proper buildup, you have a little bit more say in the amount of racing you do. But if you're in high school and you're in college, continue to focus on your buildup. Okay. Again, a proper buildup is key. A longer aerobic base of mileage buildup is key, so that you first can build that foundation of strong, build your endurance of strong mileage first, and then start developing your leg speed and really focusing on your tempo runs, your long runs, and really getting your mile time down to where you want it to be. Okay, and in this case, if you want to in terms of how to run a faster mile, focus on running the second half of your race faster than you run the first half. Okay, so if you're trying to break a 4-minute mile like I was trying to do, going out the first lap of your race in 59 to 60 seconds is not necessarily very wise, okay? Unless you have the capability to break a 4-minute mile. If your best mile time is a 4:20, the better option is to go out around 65 seconds the first 400 meters of that race, and then gradually get faster the second, third, and fourth lap. Don't go into oxygen debt and go redline and too anaerobic too soon in the race, and then be forced to slow down in the second lap of the race, or the second, third, and fourth lap of the race. Okay, you have to do the very best you can to also practice staying as relaxed as you can at faster paces. Okay, if you look at the best sprinters, the best middle to long distance runners, they look very relaxed. They've practiced untold amounts of time doing mile repeats, 800s, 400s, 200s, repeat 600s and 300s, different variations of ladder drills on the track, hill repetitions, tempo runs, long runs. All of that comes together when you've properly prepared for your mile event. Okay, so my recommendation for you is definitely wait until you get past the first 800 meters before you really start to attack. Okay, and definitely don't wait until 400 meters out from the finish line to make your move. Okay, I would start your attack 600 meters out from the finish line. Okay, and again, get out the first 200 meters of the race like I talk about in other videos. You can pretty much sprint all out the first 200 meters of any race and not build up any lactic acid. So it's important to get out very aggressively, but then settle into your pace, and do not go out 10 to 15 seconds faster than your goal race pace in the first 400 meters of your mile. So in order to run a faster mile, it's really about being also very cognizant of your pacing in the early stages of that race. Okay, so if let your competition go out too fast. Okay, you are going to race against some athletes that are going to go out very, very aggressive in this race, and they're going to maintain that pace, and you're just not going to be able to outrun them. Okay, there's always someone somewhere that's faster and better than us. Okay, but the key thing is to focus on your race, focus on your build-up, focus on what parts of your preparation can you improve upon. Okay, if you're running 90% of your weekly volume at, say, more at your 5K to 10K race pace, is that really going to develop you in terms of building your anaerobic capability to run a world class or a national class or regional class mile time? Okay, yes, you are going to build endurance, you're going to build some strength from those workouts, but you have to train well below your goal race pace at least a couple times, or at least once per week, doing a VO2 max workout per week. That might be, say, like if you're a miler, training for the mile, or maybe training for the 2 mile, it might be 16 400 meters on the track, okay, at 5 to 8 seconds faster than your goal mile time or your goal 2 mile time. Okay, it's maybe it's just doing repeat 200s below 5 seconds faster than your goal race pace, or doing a 3 to 5 mile tempo run at around 20 seconds to 25 seconds slower than your mile goal race pace. Again, still aggressive running, but not so aggressive that you're going to go into oxygen debt. You're going to be able to sustain that tempo run, training at your anaerobic threshold, and building your endurance is going to build your strength and stamina, as well as doing those raw leg speed type workouts. You know, maybe it's hill repetitions. I really worked on hills when I was in high school and college. I continued to train on hills when I was running professionally. So I'm a big believer in hill repetitions as well. Maybe that's, it might be just finding a hill that's 200 meters long and maybe doing 10 to 12 repetitions, running all out on the way up and walking or jogging on the way down. Okay, you may need to walk on the way down when you're not as anaerobically fit, and then later on, as you build your fitness, then you can jog on the way down and have a little bit less recovery. Again, you always want to focus, especially with the mile, you want to focus on, as you get fitter, minimizing the amount of recovery and making sure that you're gradually getting faster in terms of those reps. Again, the key tactic, whether you're training for a middle distance race or a long distance race, is to train the body to clear lactic acid more effectively, and preferably clear it faster than it's building up. Okay, and you cannot do that by running easy, relaxed mileage every single day, or 4 days, 5 days out of a 7-day training week. Okay, you have to really focus on what do the best middle to long distance runners do, and the majority of them, especially at those at the world class level, are running around 35 to 40% of their weekly volume at their anaerobic threshold or faster. So there's a reason why they make it look so easy. Okay, it's because they've really stressed their energy systems of their bodies effectively and for a long enough period of time that they can run at that goal race pace, and that they can cross the finish line and still have something left over at the finish line. So I hope this is helpful for you all. If you have any questions regarding the mile or any distance or any topic regarding training or fitness or mental preparation, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll definitely respond back to you all, and definitely like and share these videos. I really appreciate that. It helps other athletes around the world to see them, and I will talk to you all in the next video.